Hello and welcome to this overnight challenge on the early morning hours of Columbus Day. Happy Columbus Day. No mail today. And happy Thanksgiving Day for those in Canada. Today is Canadian Thanksgiving Day. Yep, they have it on a Monday, whereas we have it on a Thursday in November. All right, so I have two Kentucky bourbon whiskeys. This is WD Liquors, Winn-Dixie Liquors, and I'm doing this in the morning. Usually I like to go and do a Monday special on Monday afternoon, but there's the Major League Baseball Championship Series for both so-called leagues. They're really integrated. It's really one integrated league today, but and then there's the National Socialist Football League game tonight between two former American Football League teams. So I'd like to watch those games, honestly. So I'm doing it now because there's no games on. Well, there might be no games I'm talking about on. All right, so there's a horsey, a racehorse, and a jockey. Little sketch there on a gold label, so black and red trim. Pretty basic looking, and it's been around since I was a little kid. I can remember. They were glass bottles back then, but I remember seeing this stuff. Why did people buy it? Well, you know why, because it was an inexpensive private label or store brand. Yes, store brand bourbon. I don't know if it goes back to 1955 when Winn-Dixie grocery stores were founded, the chain was founded, but it could, because that's an old practice, private labeling. Okay, here is something that's definitely nationwide. Evan Williams, 1783 small batch, American Hero Edition, 2023 American Hero Edition. Every year they come out with this, and they give money to a veterans fund, and it's not always Evan Williams. They jump around to different brands, but this one is, and the 2024 was also, they still had a lot at Walmart last month or so. Might all be gone now. It's the same stuff, except that they only pick from two warehouses instead of more than two. They pick from a Bernheim's Rickhouse. Oh, only one Rickhouse, but it's warehouse. Oh, the Bernheim site. That's right, two warehouses. Warehouse 1E and 1J. 1E and 1J. So some people are acting like it makes a difference, and they were tasting this versus regular, gold and black 1783. But I would challenge anybody to do a blind taste test between the standard and this and see if they could tell it apart. I mean, maybe once, and that could be just in their mind. And I bet you in every 10 challenges, there'll be 10 right, 10 wrong. I mean, 5 right and 5 wrong. So, but it's nice. I mean, it's a nice program. I have no problem with it. And gotta get my tags right. This bottle was purchased at Walmart for $9. Seems hard to believe, doesn't it? But that's the truth. $9. That should be enough. Crazy. And I don't know why, because they brought it back the next year and it was the regular, Evan Williams price. But they do odd things at Walmart. Like they'll just discount something. Like this $39.99 bottle of Cristalino tequila. Can't remember the company, but I checked the shelf the other day. It was $39.99. Last year or the year before last, they had it discounted to $10 with no explanation. It's like, oh, they're getting rid of it, but then it shows up again. So $10 is below cost. I don't know. I took advantage of it. But I only see them doing that with wine. And usually the wine discount's not that profound. There'd be a little discount, and then or the liquor. Like I said, the liquor could be 80% off, But the beer, I never see them discounting beer. I just don't. Well, yeah, they discounted Samuel Adams Summer Fest Summer Ale, but it was only like $1 off. I was like, well, that's no kind of deal. I've had that beer so many times, which I like it, but I wasn't really necessarily looking to get it again. Although I wouldn't oppose it. So that's the story on this. $9, not the regular price. And I'll show you the websites right now. Joe Cobb, wow, wait, you're up early. Yeah, I usually am up way hours before the regular broadcast, but it didn't take me as long to watch all the Major League. It was only one game last night, highlights, and then the NFL. That went pretty fast. So, and then I caught up on other things. About to go to bed. He's going to bed. I'm a reverse night owl. I call it. I'm a reverse night owl. So happy Thanksgiving Day for Canada. So here's the Winn-Dixie website. Winn-Dixie bourbon, 1.75 liters. There used to be Albertsons bourbon and Albertsons rum, but they got rid of that because Albertsons is now such a huge grocery chain. They own other grocery chains. So it wouldn't make sense to sell Albertsons rum at Vons or Jewel Osco, right? So they just made up names for them. Work at any of those stores. D.W. Anders brandy. But you're never going to see it anywhere else except for that grocery chain and all that. All right, so but this says it explicitly. Winn-Dixie bourbon, $15.99. That's what I paid. As you can imagine, Evan Williams is a little more elaborate website. 3 small batch. That's been around a long time. Now, I thought it was something new from like the 90s or 2000. No, I saw bottles. There's a liquor collection website. The guy sells unopened bottles from the last 60, 70 years. He was showing Evan Williams 1783 small batch bottles from like the 1960s and 70s. And it was 90 proof back then, but it was aged 10 years. It had an age statement. It said aged 10 years, 90 proof, 1783 small batch. Then they changed it later, I don't know when, to 86 proof. And that went on for a long time. And then about 2 or 3 years, 2021, that's the year 2021, they went back to 90 proof. But all they say is extra aged, which if you look at the news release, it says 5 to 7 years, I think, between 5 and 7 years. So there you go, sour mash. A little above Evan Williams brand. So Evan Williams would be a premium bourbon. It's not a value price bourbon, but it comes close to that. Some call it below premium bourbon, just like Jim Beam. But no, I say it's a premium. Evan Williams, Brooks, Jim Beam, those kind of things. But it's definitely no higher than that. And then you've got the 1783, which we would call an above, just like the bottle and bond. So see, Evan Williams, $13.90. That's low. But then you got the bottle and bond, it's $4 more. And the 1783, now look, that's $22.98. You can shop around and probably find it cheaper than that. Walmart is usually one of the cheapest, but not always. And I don't find this is a great price, but it's not a horrendous price. But why did they sell it for $9 last year? I don't know. It's not my concern. I got it for $9 and I'm happy about it. Well, they don't show they don't talk about the age, but it's set it on 5 to 7 years. So there you go. Do they make higher than that? Higher expressions? Yes, they do. But then you're talking $30, $40. And many of them can only get in Kentucky. So like the single barrel, leasing it again to other states. I've seen it in Louisiana. I wasn't prepared to pay the price they wanted, honestly, but yeah, our weird October Thanksgiving. Maybe ours is weird and yours is normal. Drank some Hoegaarden today. Hoegaarden. Nice stuff. Yeah, I like it. I wish it was the original. It used to be like 6%. For whatever reason, they dropped it to 4. And now you go to Belgium and they got like 10 different varieties of Hoegaarden, but we get one, the standard flagship. Well, that's not that unusual. We get Grolsch, and that's it. We don't get Grolsch Light. Not that I would care about that. We don't get Grolsch crafted cannon, powerful cannon, 11%. Imagine 11% Grolsch. We don't get all the Heineken variants. We used to get Heineken Dark. That's gone. We don't get the Targabach. It's got a goat on it. It's kind of Bach beer. There's like a Heineken brown wheat beer or something. I don't know. There's a lot, but we don't get them. I guess the company feels like if they send it over here, wouldn't be enough people buying it to justify sending it. It costs too much. Maybe that's true. Apparently, there is an unfiltered, unpasteurized version of Pilsner Urquell they sell on draft in Czech Republic, Czechia, and it's amazing. See what I mean? Yeah, there's probably a lot of Pilsner Urquells over there. There might be who knows? There might be a Pilsner Urquell Super, 12% strong. Oh man, they have some of those like Carlsberg. We get Elephant 7.2. But there's a 10% Elephant. Maybe even a 12. I know there's a 10.5. Sorry, 10.5%. If you drink a whole tall can of that, some bar in Vegas bought a keg for an event or something, and people were raving about it, but hard to source that stuff. Yeah, it's really basically impossible. Okay. My nose is stuffy. I don't know why. I'm not sick, but it does that sometimes. Louisiana got a lot of stuff in the air, like mold and everything, and it can affect you, and you don't even realize it's happening, and then it happens. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, my nose is stuffed up, and then it just goes away. Can't even breathe out your nose, then it'll just disappear. My father says the same thing. He'd wake up, couldn't breathe, then it's gone. Very weird, but that's a lot of people. It's not just me and him, not just us. All right, enough mixing up. I got it well mixed. They're both amber. One is a little darker, and I think that's the Evan Williams. No coloring added. No flavoring added. It's straight bourbon. This one just says bourbon, but still, they're not allowed to add coloring and flavoring. I don't know why they don't call it straight bourbon. It's aged 3 years, but whatever. They probably forgot to put it on the label, and they just didn't want to change the label for the last 55 years. Yeah, standard. Just sweet corn, charred oak, honeysuckle nectar. Same. It's like always the same. Like people go. This is me talking, obviously, but you know what I mean. People go overboard with bourbon, like it's some kind of miracle. Like, oh, I gotta go wait in line at 5:30 before the store has a special opening, so I can buy this, and it's like $90. And I've tried those, but then it's like Just tastes like bourbon to me. 16.99. That's $6 cheaper. $5.99 cheaper at Total Wine. So don't go to Winn-Dixie and buy it. Wait till you pass by Total Wine and more. Stop in there, and you're gonna save $5.99 on the same size bottle. Or you can buy a big handle of it, the big glass bottle, jug bottle, for $33.99. There's your cheapest price per ounce. $33.99 divided by 1,750 times 750. $14.57. $14.57 for a regular bottle. That's if you convert it. So you say, well, I like it. I know I'm going to drink it. Eventually, it might take a few months. Well, just buy the big bottle. I try to explain that to people, but they don't understand unit pricing. They'll say, but that's cheaper. It's only $4.99. I'm like, yeah, but it's a lot worse price per ounce. You don't understand that? No, they don't understand that. They were passing notes during math class or sleeping or looking at their phone, All right. Or they didn't have a good teacher. I didn't really have good math teachers. I had a good geometry teacher. The geometry is not really a math class. It's more like a class about shapes, how angles, shapes and angles interact. Still, it's important. This smells like bourbon too. Same thing, maybe a little more charred oak though. Same thing though, but the vanilla, the sweet corn. Okay. So let me update the notes. This current version is introduced in 2021. Introduced in 2021, in parentheses, current version, because it's changed at least twice over the decades. All right. Can you still find a 10-year aged? Maybe. Probably at some collector store. Probably cost you an arm and a leg. These things all just taste like bourbon. You say, well, that's what they are. I know, but what I'm saying is that I'm not finding that the differences are that profound. Other people say, oh no, it's so different. It's so very different. And if they can taste those differences, I'm happy for them. I'm not jealous of them, but I can't really. Could taste little differences, but I'm not seeing anything too substantial, especially with me having to pay for what I'm tasting, and what I'm tasting is so minimal. You see, now if it was a profound difference, I'll pay. Like Bourbon County Stout, Bourbon County brand stout. It's a lot different than Natural Ice, both from the same parent company. Is Bourbon County profoundly more expensive? Yes. But is it worth it? Yes, because the difference is so huge. I know it's a different type. One's a stout, one's ice brewed lager. I'm just giving you, I could even show a stout, talk about a stout in that range, that it would be. But if the difference is big and profound, I'll pay the difference. If it's subtle, I'm reluctant to do it. If it's some subtle nuance. This one tastes like sourdough bread. Sourdough bagel. And they do say that's a sourdough bourbon, so I don't know, but this one seems to have more body, more action, more power. And it's 90 proof versus 80. So we have a 5% ABV difference, 40% alcohol versus 45. So I think that is making a difference. It's tough to pin it down, but I do think that is the difference. So I'm going to say this one in my left hand is Evan Williams. This one in my right is the WD Liquors It's a little bit better, but let's think about the price per handle. $15.99 at Winn-Dixie, $33.99 at Total Wine and More if you get the big jug. Walmart doesn't sell those. They do, but not for this brand. So I could buy two of these for $31.98, where I can only get one Evan Williams 1783, and I got to pay $33.99. So there's no way it's twice as good. That's not possible. It's not even close. So is it better? Yeah. But is it profoundly better where I would pay twice as much? No way. I could live with this one because, I mean, it tastes good. So why wouldn't I live with it? It's good. I gave it an A. Now, in competition, it's been getting beat more or less, but that's fair enough. It's about the cheapest bourbon you can find in America, so can't really take issue with it. Is there a cheapest bourbon in America? Well, there has to be one. There has to be a cheapest one. They're not all the same price. And this might qualify. This might be the absolute lowest price one available. And which you would think, oh, that's a D minus. It's got to be almost nearly undrinkable. But no, it's actually good. So just goes to show you, the cheapest bourbon in America tastes pretty nice. Actually, very nice. All right. Yep, that's the Evan Williams. So I got it right. I only got it wrong one time so far in this series. Could I get mixed up again later down the line? I could, especially since now I'm going into all bourbons from the same parent company, same producer. So this is coming from Wide World Distillers, but they're under the same umbrella as all these other ones I have coming in. Stedman Select, Jethro T. Boots, 10 High, and so forth. So 10 High might be the cheapest. Oh, well, they rival it because I think you can get handles of 10 High for $15.99. Oh, man. Oh, boy. All right. Well, and then so those could be more difficult because they're coming from the same parent company that tends to use the same mash bill across the board. They'll just tweak it up and down the line a little bit, like maybe age it a little less, a little bit more. And so it becomes very difficult. All right. But y'all take care now and see you soon.